And now we're going to look at the participle in Latin. Okay? The first thing to repeat is that participles are verbal adjectives. They do not have absolute tense, like indicative verbs, but derive their tense from context. They have what we call relative tense. However, unlike infinitives, you never have to change the translation based on context. There is one translation that's valid for every tense of the participle. So here is the chart. If you need to pause this and write this down, do so. Right? Notice that your same time present active participle is ins intus, which you should know. Your perfect participles can be both active if you have a deponent verb, or passive, having followed or having been loved. And your future active participle uses the fourth principal part, though it makes an active form with urus a and then it uses the gerundive for the future passive participle. How does it work? Here is a present active participle, which you can always translate with ing. This is from some inscription. You left your mama, sighing, wailing, weeping. Ing, present active participle, ins intus. Here's from Caesar. They allowed nothing of wine or the remaining things pertaining to luxury to be brought in. Okay? In the perfect, now we have time before. Okay, you can always translate having verbed. So, this is your perfect active with a deponent. When many men, having followed Caesar, were making a journey together, secuti is happening before facerent. Perfect passive participle, you can always translate having been verbed. And the example I've given you, not in an ablative absolute here, is Caesar was leading 6 legions, having been unimpeded, i.e. light-armed, that is, without the impediments of impedimenta, baggage trains. Right, notice the presence of the main verb underlined in addition to the participle throughout. Okay, so what I mean here is that the participle is not the main verb. There is another main verb. Okay, here is a future active participle, fourth principal part plus urus. You can always translate about to verb. So surrec turus die caelo cum venerat auctor. Right? When the Creator about to rise one day into heaven shall have come. Surrec turus, about to rise. You could also say destined to rise if you want to. And here I have now changed the tense of venerat, future perfect, to venerat, an imperfect. So when the Creator about to rise one day into heaven, or when the Creator came, or when the Creator came who would rise someday into heaven. If you make it into a relative clause, then you have to say would, because we're in secondary sequence now. The change to venerat. And finally, the future passive participle, here it is in a ablative absolute from the Aeneid. He shall fill 30 great circles. He shall fill with power 30 great circles as the years, or months, are to be unrolled, with the months about to be unrolled, as the months shall be unrolled. Any of those things. So in summary, participles have relative tense, which can be same time, time before, time after. You can always translate them. Verbing, having verbed, having been verbed, or about to verb or be verbed. And if the sentence does not have a main verb, but only has a participle in the nominative, or accusative, an indirect statement, the participle is the main verb, and you must apply an appropriate form of essay. You can see the participle versus verb recording if you want. If you want to work further with participles, I forgot to make a page saying this, you should go to Colby, page 21, and just start doing some of the sentences there.